Now, for 4th and 5th standard children, the next important topic in numerical is comparison. Two numbers have to be given and compared. For comparison, importantly, knowledge of place value is imperative. Now let us take two numbers, 239, okay? And another number, 351, okay? Now, if we have to compare these two numbers, what shall we do? The first time, we can show them using TLMs. Now, for 239, take any one TLM that we can use. Now, 239. Either it can be shown on place value mat, or if they are clear about place values, you can show them like this. 239 is here and 351, 100, 200, 300s, 350, 3, 4, 5 tens, then 1. We did comparison of two-digit numbers. How did we do it? Using one-to-one correspondence, putting them in an order. Instead of doing the same way here, since they know counting, they are also aware of the big and small numbers. That concept can be used here to teach. Now, while comparing, should we compare from units or compare from tens, or should we compare hundreds first? We know, right, that large number has to be compared first. We have learned. But children will not know that. We have to tell them about it. When we compare big numbers, 100 is larger than 10, right? First, we compare hundreds. Whichever is larger here, that number is larger. That is the bigger one. Here we have two hundreds and here 300s. Between 2 and 3, which is bigger? 3 is larger, right? Therefore, this 351, this number is larger. Same thing we can show them in the book as units, tens and hundreds. Write it this way and write the number first, 239 and 351. Now, while comparing, we start from the biggest place value. Between 2 and 3, 3 is larger, right? Therefore, so this number is larger. 351 is larger. Now, let us take one more example. If we take the same 239 and I will take 251. Okay? Now, let us look at these numbers. 239, I will take out the 100. What shall we do now? Earlier, we learnt that we must start comparing from the highest place value, right? Now we are doing that. This is 2. We have 2 in hundreds place for both the numbers. They are equal. Then we move to the next place value. In hundreds, both are same, equal. We are unable to decide which is larger, this number or this number. We don't know which is larger. So we compare the next place value. Tens, here we have 5 tens and here 3 tens. 50 is larger or 30 is larger? 50 is larger, right? So this number is larger. We can conclude it. In the same way, we can write it in the notebook. First number 239, 251. Now, these two are same. We are unable to decide. Compare 3 and 5. As 5 is larger, this number is larger. Now, when there are zeros, when we have a zero, what do we do? Shall we see that? Let us consider 4007. Other number 3821. Let us say. Some children at this stage, they will know compare this and this. It is done. Right? Compare only the first digits. It is enough. They know. It may be right on some occasions, but it may create confusion elsewhere. I will show it to you. Now, let us draw the place value table and compare units, tens, hundreds, thousands. First number is 4007. Second number 3821. Now, as the child knows that 0 doesn't carry any value, he may decide that 4007 is the smaller number. That's a possibility. To avoid that situation, it is better to teach them with place value table. Write 4007 this way, then write 3821. Ask them again. Now, where should the comparison begin? First from the biggest place or from units? When we repeatedly tell them, they learn it. Comparison should begin from the biggest. 4 is larger or 3 is larger? 4 is larger or 3 is larger? 4, right? So, 4007 is larger. We should say. Now, some children, even after repetition, instead of beginning from the highest number, they may be habituated to begin from the smallest one. How will you make them learn? Either using TLMs, show them again. It can be taught after showing the TLMs, or in the square rule notebook, drawing a square of 9 houses. Drawing 9 houses in the representational form, showing both numbers. This is 4000 and this is 3000 can be explained in detail to make them understand. Now, I shall ask another question. Look at it. How would your students answer this question? Tell me. 927 and 1205. Which one is larger? Earlier we mentioned some children first place. What is here? They may compare these two. Here in the first digit number, that is 900, 927. First is 9, right? And here it is 1. Now which one is larger? 9 is larger or 1 is larger? 927 is larger. What do we do then? They do it like this, right? It means they haven't considered the place value of digits. That is why, to avoid such mistakes, we teach it using place value tables. Make them write and practice. When they make such a mistake, write units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. How will you write 927? 900, okay? Not 9000, right? 9 hundreds, 2 tens, and 7 units. 1000. Here we have 9 hundreds, 2 tens, 7 units, 1000, 2 hundreds. In 10th place, there is nothing. Units has 5, right? Now let us compare. First place is 1000, right? So here, if there is nothing, 0. Is 0 larger or 1 is larger? 1 is larger, right? So, 1205 is the larger number. This can be clarified to them. Many times, what we do is, For third standard, there is comparison of 3-digit numbers. For fourth standard, it is comparison of 4-digit numbers. We keep giving them questions like this. If we give only 4-digit numbers for comparison, what happens is we don't get to know their misconceptions such as this. Therefore, during evaluation, we should ask questions like this and understand their comprehension and get a clear picture, right? Now, while comparing two numbers, there is a sign that is used. For example, 45 and 23. Which is bigger number between them? Let us understand it as earlier. There are two-digit numbers. There are tens, 4 tens and 2 tens. Which is larger? 4 is larger. When they are asked to compare, whichever is the larger number, we use this symbol. To make it clear, I have drawn it a little larger. Now, how to teach this to children? When we write symbols like this, children find it difficult. Which is larger, this or this? How to write it? So, we create a story. We are, for many topics, trying to teach through a story and make them understand, right? Now, what is the story is, there is a crocodile. This crocodile is very hungry, a very hungry crocodile. You give him some food items. You keep a lot of items one side, little less on the other side. Very hungry crocodile will eat the larger one or the smaller one. It eats the larger one, right? Therefore, how does a crocodile look? The mouth of a crocodile is like this, right? Now, the crocodile moves towards the larger item and eats it, right? If this side was larger, it would go there and eat it. This way, make it dramatic and explain through a story. Draw pictures between 45 and 23. Which is larger? 45, right? So, hungry crocodile, this is its mouth. These are his eyes. These are his teeth. Show a picture like this. This goes to the big number and eats it, right? Similarly, give them an opportunity to draw pictures and shapes in the notebook. Instead of only the symbol, let them draw teeth and eyes too. When they enter fourth standard, they will leave all those. They use only symbols. Now, some mistakes. We saw some mistakes by children. I have to mention a few more points here. In textbooks and during exams, number, that is number and oral number name and the number, questions will be asked. For example, 3000 and 52. 3052. This question will be, write 3052 in figures. Children, some children write 3052. You have all seen this, right? Why they write it like this is because they are not clear about the place value. Then what do we do? Again, keep the place value table. What have you done? For 3000, you have kept 3000. For 50, you have kept 50. 2, you have kept like this, right? There is 3000, okay? There are 5 tens and 2 units. But something is forgotten, right? What is it? You have not shown hundreds place. 3052, when nothing is said about 100, it means in its hundreds place it is a 0. You must keep the green strip. Now it is 3052, right? This is how you should write. That is why this is not correct. Correct answer is 3052. We should tell them. Next time when they read, it may not be this one. Show them this way: units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. Write and show. How many thousands? What is 50? 5 tens. What is 2? 2 units. What is in the hundreds place? It is 0. So it has to be written like this. Teach like this. What do some children do? For 3052, they write it as 3, 5, 2. They write like this. What should we do then? Write units, tens, and hundreds. Ask them to read the number. This is units, this is tens, this is hundreds. Which place is this? Hundreds place, what did you write? You have written 3. Tens place, what did you write? 5. And units place has 2. Now read it. It is 352. What did they ask here? They asked 3000, right? What is the thousands place? You have not written here. So, write it again like this. This is read as 352. Explain like this. Then children will know their mistake. Using all these TLMs, they get an opportunity to correct it. Similarly, a major mistake, even we make these mistakes sometimes. That is, during representation, in the representational stage, units, tens, and hundreds. Now, give me one 3-digit number. 134, okay? Now, in 134, we have 4 units. 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, and 4 units. In tens place, we have 3 tens, 1 ten, 2 ten, 3 tens. That is wrong. Here it should be written 110, 210, 310. What is explained through the story? These rooms have tens. Bundling units into 10, we placed in tens rooms separately. This has to be repeatedly reminded to them and made them to write. Similarly, in hundreds column, not 1, it should be written as 100. This is a point to be noted. Now, there may be another question. This is unit place. Let us write 1. In tens place, let us write 10. Hundreds place, let us write 100. Now, for 134, why shouldn't we write 134 like this? Units place has 4, tens place has 3, and hundreds place has 100. Why can't we write it like this? We know that it is hundreds house. If 1 is there, it means 100. So, what we say here is, here multiplication is not taught. This is not the concept of multiplication. We are moving from concrete to representational form to abstract. When it is written like this, it is totally abstract, right? Whatever we represent here, 134, we represent the same is written here. How many units? 4 units are here. How much is in a bundle of 10? There are 10 here, so we write 10. 110, 210, 310, we write. 1 into 10 is not given here, and the idea should not be taught here because this is the representational stage. That's why. Though we use one plate of 100, though it is 1 into 100, Since we are representing this here, this is 100. Such 100 units are in this, is what we represent. That is why we must write 100 here in the representational stage. That is why we must write 100 here in the representational stage. In the next level, 134 has to be written. This is abstract. This is the abstract stage. This is the final stage of reading numbers. However, before they get the abstract idea, concrete to representational stage and then to abstract, we should have a clear picture. Now, in large numbers, that is in 2-digit numbers, 3-digit numbers, 4-digit numbers, skip counting and number patterns should be taught. What happens in skip counting? Counting 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, this practice should be given. Similarly, what happens when 10 is added to a number? To 25, when you add 10, it is 35. Add 10 to it, it becomes 45. It means 5, 15, 25, 35. Like this, skip counting has to be taught. This skipping, the jump, what should be the skip gap? Children should learn. After observing 2 or 3 skips, they will learn the future skip gaps. It may be 5 or 100 or 50, 20 in different ways. Make children work and teach them. Similarly, patterns. Another form of skip counting is pattern. Number patterns can be taught as mentioned in the textbooks in detail to the children. Alright? Here, please note a point. In skip counting, difference between 2 digits, the difference between 2 numbers is constant. Equidistant skips will be there. But in number patterns, difference between the 2 digits or between 2 numbers may vary. Please observe. Now, here is an example: 10, 20, 30, 40. What is next? We can ask. It means the difference between first 2 numbers is 10, right? Difference between second and third is 10. So the skip is equidistant. So what is the next number? 40 plus 10 is 50. Then 50 plus 10 is 60. This is an equidistant skip. Skip counting, right? Now, you please observe. Now you please observe. Observe here. Is this skip counting? Count the difference between 2 numbers in this sequence. Difference between 1 and 2 is 1. What is the difference? It is 1, right? From 2 to 4, the difference is 2. It skipped 2 steps. It jumped 2. Similarly, from 4 to 7, it is 3-step skip. From 7 to 11, what could it be? We saw the 3-step skip. The jump is 1, 2 and 3, so it could be 4. So 7 to 11, it is 4 steps skipped. It could be 11. Yes, it is 11. So our counting is right. What we counted is right. So, what are the next two numbers in the sequence? This skip, how many differences should it have? It should be 5, right? So, the number is 16. What could the next number be? Difference of skip is 6, so it will be 22. So, we call this number patterns. We call this number patterns. Initially, children will find it tough to understand. This is a question from abstract stage. This is a challenge for the intellect. It is also fun. It has to be taught as a challenge to the intellect. Encourage students by saying something special in this activity. Encourage them, motivate them, saying, there is a magic in this. Let us solve it. This is how you have to teach it to them. Okay? So far, we learnt details of place value and numbers. In the class, using various TLMs, make the children participate in the activities and learn through play.